it up, and that's where every month when we have this, so the same entry criteria is going to be applicable as well. Okay. So now speaking about week related 3. Okay, there are multiple focus areas as part of this. Area number 1, as part of the last week itself, we discussed key in order to achieve life lasting success. Okay, so there are different people at different stages. First, you need to know the right systems, right techniques which will get you there. Okay, now another thing here key, yes, there are these techniques and systems available, but now you have to look it from your perspective. Okay, which things are really giving you more value, which things you can further customize it to your personal needs. Okay, so first one, knowing the right techniques, and now you customize it as per your life it is. Okay, that is one, knowing the techniques. Second is implementing techniques. So just knowing is not going to do anything good. So it's always about, are you performing it, are you taking action? That's the second step. And now comes the third step. Ki dekho, taking actions also, life is so cool ki as long as you take actions, results will be coming. As soon as you stop, results will also disappear. Okay, nothing but the third stage is what will result in a lifelong success, and that is to build hardcore consistency at whatever you do. Okay, that's the only thing. Know the techniques, apply the techniques, and apply it consistently till the time the technique becomes a habit. So always focus on these 3 stages in order for mastering any area of your life. Know the right approaches, follow the right approaches, and make it a habit by being longly consistent. Now, as part of the week 3, we are going to focus on building the system which will help us to be consistent. You need to understand, guys, ki willpower, motivation, these things will not be making you consistent in a long run. It doesn't work. It only gets you started, it gets you energized, but you need to build a system, a process which will push you to do things even if you don't like it. Okay, so whenever you get willpower wise, energized, motivated, it is only going to get you started. With that, you might know a new technique, you might perform it for one day, for 1 week, but for taking it life lasting, you need to build a system. Okay, why? Because what will happen is, understand this human being. Today everything was good in your life, so you are very confident, very excited. Ki, chalo kar lenge, everything will be good. Let's say after 2 days something goes wrong. Okay, human being is a very moody person thing. So when things are going wrong, you will be disappointed, and then you will be like, nay, I don't want to do anything today, let it just go by. Nothing but we are having a lot of mood swings. Now the thing is, if your actions and strategies and success is also dependent upon your mood, so it will never take you somewhere. You will be at times motivated, at times not. So that's where third thing is, you need to build a system and you need to make it a priority. Ke, bhai, I will live by this system. System is a process, a trigger of how to get the things done. Okay, so you need to focus on this third aspect also very majorly. Once you do this system writing and living by the system, automatically life is going to get very simple. Okay, so that's the part with regards to this week aim in building the system. Okay, along with it, so practically we are going to do, okay, along with it, the second focus of this week is key. As part of the morning routine, currently apart from whatever we are doing, there are multiple other habits which needs to be performed as a mandatory measure on a daily basis. Okay, so you have to keep performing it as a mandatory measure. It is not optional. The unfortunate thing about the current society is people are not knowing it, and even if they know it, they are not performing it. And these are some things which are not optional anymore, guys. Okay, we need to keep performing it in a long run, and it's that mandatory. Okay, that's how we should start our every single day of the life. So all these morning routine, other habits, we will be performing. And guys, these are habits. If you perform it daily, roughly around morning, 1 to 2 hours of time will be gone into it. Okay, so nothing but you will know what to do, and there is like a lot of work there. That's the second area of focus. Okay, now the third area of focus for this week. So I am really planning we get maximum value out of everything that we do. Okay. Now the third area of focus which we all will work towards is two skills or two techniques, two habits we need to mandatory master in this week 3. Okay. And it is the guys, what we are going to do is what we become, on top of that we will add new and new layer. Okay. So whatever you learned in the week 1, the techniques, we converted that into, okay, we will apply that productivity in the week 2. We started waking up in the morning, we started doing the planning, weekly planning, daily planning, the executions and all that. Okay. Now that version we will convert it further. So as part of this week also, everything which we did previously will all continue. Okay, as part of this week also, everything will continue. So we will wake in the morning 6, we'll perform the routine, evening review will happen, weekly review will happen, weekly planning will happen. All the techniques which we discuss in the week 1, we will measure and move towards that. On top of all that, okay, we will build this system, live by the system, but there are two more additional habits which we want to introduce as part of this week 3. Okay, and those habits are, habit number 1 is look at your career, whatever direction it is, okay, and start working on upgrading your skills. Okay, apart from whatever you do on a regular basis. Now let's say if you are already a student, so as a student you might already be doing your trainings and practice. Apart from that, additionally, now we have to, guys, I'm already saying, all the job seekers right now, consider yourself putting 10 hours of daily work for preparation and getting job. That's how you change your life. Don't live by your own mood and all that. Okay, live it in a manner ki daily 10 hours you are working for preparation or getting the job. Okay, apart from that we need to add additional time for skill upgradation. That's how you will master more out of your 24 hours. Okay, and for all the working professional, that is already simple. So you're already working X to Y. On top of that, we need to constantly take skill upgradation as a measure, as simple as maybe weekly performing 3 hours minimum skill upgradation. Okay, you can take any course on Udemy or any certification anywhere, but it is as simple as like weekly you spend 3 hours minimum. I would suggest 5 hour target karo, but yes, gradually go towards that. Okay, gradually go towards that. So this is how we will be performing. Okay, now the another thing, so we will be going on with the skill addition. So you need to see what certification you want to do, how we will be doing it, at what time of the day we will do it. On top of that, we will add book reading as the skill as well. Okay, now just as part of even today's session, we are going to primarily discuss about this book reading habit and then accordingly going from there. Okay, so it is one of the habit which will completely change you as a person. Okay, I have seen changes in myself, and everybody who does book reading evolves very drastically. There is a huge difference when you read books versus when you don't read books. Your thought process, your confidence level, your analysis, your approach towards life, everything will change once you start reading books. It is as the way you eat food every single day, like that you need to read books every single day. Okay, that's how it's mandatory. These are mandatory things. The thing is key, life is not making it mandatory for you. You have to do it for yourself if you want to succeed. Okay, nobody else is actually going to come and do it for you. Okay, simple. So we are going to perform these 3 primary focus areas for week 3. Okay, now again the first core, again just telling the quick points. Week 1, we knew few techniques plus your own self as well. Week 2, we understood a system of applying it in a systematic, structured manner of where you work on the important items. Week 3, we will take the system and then we will build additional system where a process will come which will enforce us to always follow it even independently. That's week 3. On top of that, we will go ahead, like all these successful people, top big guys of the world are having a systematic way of starting their day. So before they get on to the work, they do a lot of other activities daily. That's nothing but morning routine. We will revive the morning routine. And third section for week 3 is making two habits into us. One is regular skill upgradation. Okay, minimum 3. Now, देखो guys, without skill upgradation, कुछ नहीं होने वाला life में, right? You'll not be able to grow. And let's know it, there is no saturation because the market is changing, technologies are changing, new and new evolutions happening, new industries are coming. So if you keep constantly learning new things, better job opportunities, better packages will be there in the market. Okay, so always that thing is happening. So now, so we will do skill upgradation, certifications le lenge, courses le lenge, examinations and all, and trying to always add more value to who you are as a person. And then we will install book reading habit as well. Okay. Now, on top of this, so that's it. We just want to do these 3 primary areas. Okay, and it might be like that itself is going to be huge, but yeah, that's the core target. Okay, now along with it, we are going to make another system. Okay, a system of accountability. Dekho, right now what happens is the reason key when we are even I'm speaking about this our career transformation journey. Key every season by season, month on month, we are repeating this season. Okay, but what is observed is okay, when we perform it live during this season, then we are able to stay more consistent. Okay, as soon as season stops, some of the habits start shaking here and there. Okay, like even previous batch, some people they said, oh, I'm not able to do this, oh, yahan pe gap ho gaya. But what it is observed, but when we are doing it month on month, the habits stay consistent for a long time. Okay, and that is primarily because yes, we are doing it live, that rhythm is happening nicely, and it's the power of group. Okay, we are all engaged together and focused towards that. So doing it alone at times becomes tough, but when you do it with the group, the chances of conversion becomes nice. And that's where guys, till the time these all habits become independent in you, continue batch by batch, month by month, because this is how you have to live your next 80 years of your life. Make that as the intention. Daily I will wake up early, daily planning, daily execution, thinking about productivity, growth, book reading, skill upgradation, morning routines. That's the best way of living a life. That's what we're trying to develop, a life template here. Okay, so just keep rotating. But one thing it is key, consistency. How happens is system of accountability. Okay, accountability is like key, let's say right now Mayur is here in the group. Okay, he I will say ki, okay, Mayur, tomorrow morning 6 a.m. Chalo, let's come live. Okay. So then Mayur will be like, oh, Tosef is expecting me to join tomorrow morning 6 a.m. I will definitely come live because now accountability. Just this statement, okay, okay, Mayur, let's meet tomorrow morning 6 a.m. live on Zoom. So he will put his best shot. Okay, I will wake up because there is accountable. There is somebody else waiting for you. That gives a sense of responsibility more. कि नहीं यार, देखो, this is something really different about human beings. कि when it comes कि do you want to compromise on yourself? People are like, yes, I will compromise on myself. But when it comes here, others will get affected because you don't do it. Majority of the times people become more responsible ki, nahi yaar, why should others get affected because of me? It comes naturally. Somehow our brain and the body is designed like that ki, why should others get affected because of me? It's a natural mechanism, and I think that's what has helped human beings to evolve as a society and group ke, nahi yaar, khud ko I'll be lazy as whatever, but other guy, if that guy is expecting me to, nahi yaar, let me go there. Okay, so somehow that is system of accountability. So what we will do it, as part of this week, we are going to put a group of 2 people, okay, or maybe three people. Let's decide that number 2 or 3, where you guys put this commitment to yourself. Ki your other group members should also perform all these activities that we are doing. Plus, they will ensure that you also perform. Okay, there is this one very simple like I think this was a cartoon animation video which was circling on internet. Okay, you might have seen it as well. कि क्या होता है कि there are all these, there is a well in between, and looks like in the well there is something called as amrit jal. You might have heard this terminology, amrit jal, कि वो पियोगे and lifelong अमर रहोगे, you will not die till eternity. Okay, that's amrit jal. So there was this cartoon kind of video which was created. There is a well in between, and surrounding that well there are like 6 7 people. They are all very aged people with like a stick in their hand, and they are about to like final stages of their life. And what is required is ki, in their hand they have a wooden stick, so they have to dig inside that well, take that gel which will give them life and make them young again, and then drink. Okay, but the spoon is so long that they cannot dig it and put it in their own mouth. Okay, and then they start fighting with one another, trying to stop each other. Okay, but one very nice learning is somewhere where it was all not working and somebody's stick broke there, and then that guy really gives up. Carry, I will never be able to live, I'll die shortly. So then there is this moment where another guy takes the spoon and makes the that person drink. Okay, it's just about that. If you care about others, somehow others will also care about you. That's a circle of life. Somehow it just works. Okay, that's magic, that's humanity, that's nature. That's how things are built up. Okay, you just care about others, others will somehow care about you. Okay, and I guess that's the system of growth as well. So when one person makes it drink to other one, other guy does to them, and in that, in the end, everybody drinks and they are all like alive for a long time. Okay, now this is the second thing. You need to understand we will create this group. Okay, group of 3 people, group of whatever, like 2 people, and make sure ki, as long as you want your success, you should make sure that guy should also perform it. So you follow up with him on LinkedIn, WhatsApp, wherever you can, and be in touch. Plan out, hey, tomorrow I'm doing this, I'm doing this book reading, when are you going to do? And guys, dekho, for doing this kind of engagement, I don't want ki half-hearted people ke sath zabardasti kisi ko laga de, and like that person doesn't want to do it and you are after him. Okay, so I will give you time, you make a decision if you really want to do it, because they again with you there is another person also. So make a decision, do you really want to join in some group where you can support each other, like 2 people or 3 people group banayenge. But if you say yes, make it a mission ki everybody in your group should perform. Why? Because only when you perform now things will happen, and alone doing is always going to be a very slow process. But when you encourage one another, that will bond you more and you will rise pretty nice. Okay, and so think about it, by the end of today's session itself we are going to even form the groups. Okay, and again guys, be consistent. There is going to be some consistency criteria from week 3 to week 4 as well. And guys, week 4 ke andar what are we going to do? Okay, there is one very important thing about I guess any industry. Okay, and so far we were trying to cover that, okay, confidence, communication, speaking, presentation. Okay, we were covering that from a perspective of maybe social media and other things. But you need to understand ki in your corporate world, communication is a very important thing. You need to drive meetings, you need to give presentations, you need to give demos. All of these things are going to happen, and if you are not able to do it now, somebody else is going to do that, and that guy takes away the opportunity. Okay, so along with your technical skill, if you have communication skill also, rising in your career will become very nice, very quick. More confidence will come and more opportunities will come. Okay, this is how things are working. So focus of the week 4 will be, how do you give these presentations, how do you drive meetings. I will give you all the technique systems. We will be practically driving some group sessions where you work maybe live and all through camera phobia and confidence को full बढ़ा देते, and don't think anything else. Be bold, be brave, because that's what industry you guys are all going to work into. And I think in this world also it's required. And I know it, okay, in the corporate world, it's all happening like majority wise English itself. Okay. The reason being that we have clients working in some other countries and they are all English. So the point is it has to be English. Okay. Now let me tell an example. Even in my team right now, there are people of different languages and cultures. Okay, and I faced this problem within the team. Okay, somewhere even we got these concerns raised from the team at times ki, oh, they are all talking in a different regional language. Okay, and which these other people are not able to understand, and somewhere they are like, oh, are they doing it intentionally? They are not mixing us. Unnecessary clashes will happen. Okay, and that's where industry will always recommend you by speaking English, neutral language, common language, so that everybody understands it. And that's what is you will be also going. So whether you know it or not, we need to work, we need to be confident, we need to be bold. That's the full focus of the week 4. Okay, but chalo, week by week we will be applying, and I particularly feel by the time you do this 4 weeks, you will be a different person. And already I think with your lifestyle you have started finding some changes. Okay, so chalo, let's get started. Okay, so let's get started for today's session. Just make these quick notes, guys. At least these 2 3 pointers, write it down. Just 2 3 pointers, write it down. Okay. Okay, 3-step system. 3-step system. 3-step system for long lasting results. First, know the right techniques and strategies. Know the right techniques and strategies. Second, taking actions and implementing those techniques. Taking actions and implementing those techniques. Okay, and third one, converting these techniques into habits. That's it. Anything you want to do it in the life, do this thing and you will definitely get results in that. Okay. 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 Next, primary focus for week 3. Even maintain at your side also. Primary focus for week 3. 1, habit of consistency. Habit of consistency. Second, effective morning routine. Effective morning routine. Third, installing below success habits. Installing below success habits. उसमें 1 लगा दो. 3 to 5 hours skill upgradation. 3 to 5 hours skill upgradation per week. That's it, guys. Just weekly 3 hours bhi karoge, you multiply it by 1 month, you have done a lot. People are just wasting time. That's it. Okay, the 3 to 5 hours skill upgradation per week. And the second one is again 3 to 5 hours of book reading per week. I would say do it daily, but sometimes people are not able to do it. So at least plan it like weekly, so you should definitely do it. If during the day it's not happening, so sit down over weekend 2 hours additional and finish that thing. But don't pile up week by week, nothing happens. Okay, fine. So these are the 3 things. Okay, okay. Now guys, next we will be performing, guys, today, understanding about the books. Okay, I'll just tell you the conclusions, what I understood and how I have been living my life for past 3 years or so now. Okay, there you go. When I got a chance to lead a bigger team, okay, like 10-member team. So before then, that I was leading smaller teams, 4 members, 5 members, something like that. But when I got chance to lead a 10-member team, that was a bigger responsibility, and I was not knowing what to do. Okay, and I was worried, tensed, and all that. Okay, how to do, how to do. And when I was running to people asking what to do, this, that, to my other managers, to this person, that person, people were all sharing, but I was not getting concrete things. Okay, what to be done, what are the pros, cons, because everybody is busy. They just share things. We have to analyze in the end. Okay, and things were not that going good, and I was not, and I was more scared. Ki, will it happen or not happen? So at that time, somebody said, "Ki, Arey, why don't you start reading books about leadership, team management, and all these things?" And देखो guys, honestly speaking, after the college life was done, I never read any book. That's what life forces you. So I was not always thinking about all that. Life somehow made me a change in myself. That's what I'm trying to show you. And the sooner you realize, the better it will be for your life. So then those people said, Ki, why don't you start books? And I was not having any other option. So I started reading. Okay. And it was because I literally wanted to solve the problem which I am going through. Then what I realized is books are having all the solutions, techniques to all the problems that you are already dealing. Okay. देखो it's simple है. Humanity is, we are not the people from scratch. Since like thousands of years, humanity has been there, and people have lived their entire 100 years, 150 years of life. Earlier was Adavita, right? So people have lived a long life before us. They would have faced so many use cases as part of their life. They would have understand and analyzed so much things, how human being thinks, what kind of emotions we go through, how to handle everything is already available. And the only thing, technology was not there in the previous times, but the only thing by which the knowledge was transferring from centuries to centuries, ages to ages, is all these scripts, literatures, books. Everything was written on paper. Okay, ये तो अभी हुआ, since past 30-40 years के digitalization came. Otherwise everything was just papers. And the thing is, if you just read, let's say, life stories of two people or five people who lived like 80 years of their life, you will get so much knowledge about all dimensions of life. And maybe what you are already experiencing is a very smaller thing compared to what those people are experiencing. Understand? There are two ways to live a life. One is only your personal experiences. And what you have like 20 years, 25 years, 30 years experience of life, which is very small compared to, let's say, 5 into 100, 500 years of experience. Five people lived 100 years and they summarized their all knowledge into books. 500 years of life experience versus our 30 years, it's nothing. It's a choice. Do you want to learn only by your experience? Just imagine how slow your growth is going to be compared to that. If you read many books, you will get so much knowledge how people lived, and then you customize it to your life. You will rise pretty faster. That's guaranteed, because you already know the problems that people might face. You already know the solutions. You are implementing it to the life. That is where book reading is required for growing faster in your life compared to a non-book reader. Okay, so then I realized why that person said start book reading, and I started reading it. So one important thing, you should read book which will help you to solve your current life problems. Okay, that's mandatory. Book reading should not be only for time pass, novels and anything. You look, what is your burning problem in your life right now? Focus nahi ho raha hai. Okay, distraction has grown more. Okay, laziness is coming, food habits are bad. Nothing but whatever is the current problem in your life, you need to see which bestseller books are written in that category, and accordingly take one, like whatever forms, we'll speak about that later. But audio form is there, PDF form is there, hard copy form is then, right? Free of available things are available on internet. Okay, summaries of books are also available, like you choose. Okay, but from there you need to apply. So whatever is the current burning problem in your life, pick a book of that and read it. And because guys, what happened is, as soon as I was facing that burning problem, so I had no other option, but I needed solution. And then I realized solution is there in the book. So immediate conversion of result is going to be good. Now the thing is, as soon as I started applying, now this is where it became interesting. Okay. Okay, the more I was reading, the way I was thinking was changing. Okay, same situation, my perspective was changing. Arey, let's not do it like this, let's do it like this. Oh, this is a better way of doing it. Oh, I was able to see multiple opportunities around me, and that was happening only because of reading more books, because new thoughts were running in the mind. And last week we already covered this. Whatever thoughts run in the mind, you look at the world from that perspective. So when in your mind ideas, strategies, problem solving is running, you will like to see the same things around you. Okay, and I was not even realizing I'm able to think different and do something like that. It was only when after I was reading books for 3 months, and after 3 months I was speaking to one of my friend who knew me for past 10 years. Okay, so he was my Amirpet friend itself. So we have been regularly in touch since like 10 years also. So we keep like, there were times in my beginning days after my office I used to directly go into his room itself. And there we used to eat biryanis, we used to eat kebabs, we used to eat cold drinks. And night mein 12-1 baje tak we used to hang out on the road and then drink some Irani chai and all that. And night mein fir 1 baje I used to go to my home. That was my regular life cycle for like many years. Okay, because he was also not married, I was also not there, and we were like, chalo masti karte. So that was my daily routine. After office, go to his place, 3-4 hours, we were like 2-3 people there, and just chilling out. Okay, and so he knows me that closely. We know each other's thinking very nicely. So after 3 months, he said this. After 3 months, I was speaking with him once, and he said, "Ki, Are Tausif, you're thinking completely different. I know you from past 10 years, but I have not seen this kind of a thought process in you anytime." And that is where I realized that by reading, something changed in me. Okay, how to look at a problem, how to come up with solution, how to be patient, how to look at positive side for everything. So nothing but then I realized that, okay, so what changed? I was like, kya baat kar rahe hai? Later I analyzed, then I realized, oh, since past 3 months I am reading book, maybe that changed something in me. So guys, telling based upon practical experience, you will become better quality individual once you start reading. And right now, because we don't read, negative thoughts run more in our mind. Solutions are not running, problems are running more. And then what happens when so many problems are coming? The mind is very like idiot box actually. It will make you feel low about yourself. Arey, you cannot do it. Arey, you are always like this only. Nothing is going to work out for you. It's always tough. Let's run away. Let's do something else. Let's get more comfortable in life. Let's throw things out. Let's take a break now. Let's, like, mind will actually reverse trigger you. Okay, and that's the thing I'm saying, ki in order to lead a life properly, you need to overcome all these internal dramas, and book reading can take you there, because book reading is all about solving our problems. That's it. Use it like that, you will find great changes will come, you will evolve. Okay, now that's the first conclusion, guys. Book reading has to be towards solving your current problems of your life. Otherwise, comic and time pass के लिए people do it, but I have not taken any book which is a time pass book for me. ठीक है, वहां पे भी ऑडियो बुक में भी they are like movie stories in the audio form चल रहे, novels are running. I have never taken that. I made के books for me is only success and growth. That's it. So I made that classification for myself कि क्योंकि उसमें भी entertainment आ गया तो life तो फिर लुल हो गई. That's horrible then, right? So maintain some distance about where you want to get entertainment into. Okay, you decide that. Okay, now second important learning. The first is, if you have a problem, go to Google, see which best books are written on that, what are the best sellers. You do some study about Amazon reviews, Audible reviews, and all of that thing. Once you see, identify the top 2-3 books in that area, one by one start reading. Okay, that's how it is. Now the second thing. Okay, what happened is, I'll not get in too much details because things are, I'll draw conclusions. What happened? For 6 months, I was reading book. Okay. And then I felt, I know everything now. I know so many techniques. I can apply it. The project is going good. And the project was actually going good. So I stopped book reading. Okay. Now what happened is, things did not go bad. The project was always smooth, clients were happy, team was happy, I was happy, everything was good. But next 6 months gone, and yeah, I just completed. And then I was doing this one exercise. I was looking back at my 1 year, and then I realized ki the initial 6 months when I was reading books, I was innovating a lot. New things I was implementing in my team. I was experimenting with the clients, with the team, with the project. Nothing but always ideas, innovations were coming, and I was applying it. And the results were pretty going on the upside. Because with new ideas, new innovations, new strategies, new output will come. So it was constantly like this. If you want job, get all these techniques, apply all of that, your life will go in the up direction. You don't apply any technique, it will become flat. It's all about actions. Knowing the ideas converting into actions, growth will happen. You stop your actions, you don't know the ideas, nothing will change in your life. Because now this is what happened. 6 months, new ideas constantly growing. And after that, as soon as I stopped reading book, ideas stopped coming. Even though I knew those techniques, but I was not able to experiment those ideas. The brain was not working, which was working the way when I was reading books. And then I'm like, what happened? I knew all the techniques, but why am I not working in the same way, applying it in the same way? Okay. And then someday, that's where I was on Instagram. So there I realized people like Bill Gates, Warren Buffett, and all these guys, even right now, whatever age they are in, they are regularly reading books. Every time you see on social media, they will be, oh, these books I read, these books I read, these books for this vacation, and they have pile of books always. And then I realized, okay, so if you want to constantly innovate and do great things in your life, book reading has to become a constant habit, lifelong habit, in fact. And look at the great successful people, they are doing it. And then I know ki if they don't do it, their mind is also not going to work properly. That's where they do it. So it's like a working, it's an exercise for the mind for getting ideas, innovation, solving problems. Okay. Now, second conclusion is that it is a lifelong habit. And guys, don't leave it. Seriously, इतना सब सुन के भी you guys might be कि कुछ नहीं करेंगे. So don't do that. Okay. Practically apply, you will find differences. Okay. Now, moving on to the next piece. Once you start reading book, once these ideas, innovations start coming, okay, I was following it very nicely, getting results. But there came a trigger point in my life, and after that I have never stopped book reading. Okay. So I would just say even though you know all these things, the point will, I don't know, like since when you will make all these things mandatory for yourself. Okay. So that's what it is all about. So a point came in my life, even after knowing all these things. A point came, I visited my CEO's home. Okay. And as part of that, he showed me his audiobook collection in his phone. He had library in his home where there were books. And then he's like, Ketosif, which book are you reading right now? And at that time, I was not reading anything. So I remembered my, like, maybe a few months ago wala book. I told that name कि भाई CEO है, if I tell कि I'm not reading अच्छा नहीं लगेगा. So I told that name. So he's like, I've read that book. We had that conversation. Okay. And then he showed me his Audible scroll, and he showed me all the list of books which he finished, and there were so many. Okay. And then I asked myself a question ki I always come up with reasons. I'm busy, I don't have time and all. And the CEO is the most busiest person in the company. If he can do it, if he can make time for this, that means it is ultimately the habit which is required for success. If he does it, and CEO has to drive businesses and companies, so then that means it is a must habit. And if he is so busy and he does it, so I'm always less busy and I can make time out to do it. That's it. That was a time, I think 2019 or something like that, I made this decision. And from that day onwards, I have never left book reading habit. Okay. Now, the point is, when will this come in your life? That completely depends upon you. You can start doing it right from today onwards. Okay, but don't wait ki life gives you that opportunity, because let me tell you, for next 5 years also life might not give you that chance, that environment, that time to make that decision ki I want to read now. It depends on situations. So learn from my experience. If your next 5 years, I'm almost guaranteeing it, for the next 5 years from today onwards, if you read book every single day, your result would be far different after 5 years versus if you don't read books. Success in your life, money in your life, happiness in your life, health in your life is going to be way different if you read books versus if you don't read books. Okay, this is what it is. So that's the game changer, ultimate game changer. Okay, now let me tell a few more things. Now this is where it is interesting. I think some of you will be able to even relate this right now. What happens is, people on internet and many these big successful people, what they are saying is, go through the same book multiple times. Okay, go through the same book, and I've gone like same book like n number of times. And what happens is, like 10 times, 15 times, I don't care how many times I'm reading a book. So book for me is not a checklist. Okay, I'm done and I'm not going to visit it again. Okay, books are ideas which you want to implement and completely keep refreshing in your mind so that you can see that in the real world. Whatever thoughts run in the mind, you look that in the real world. We understood that concept at that time. Thoughts, that's what we see in the real world. Image, like it's a projection basically. So if you constantly keep thinking that, that's what you see. That's where continuously reading the same book, okay, you will continuously keep seeing that. And one important thing, guys, every time in your life, your circumstances will be different. You will go through different challenges, different problems. When you read the same book, but in your mind, different problem is running, somehow these books will start solving that problem which is there in the mind. Your mind will focus on, hey, this technique I can solve my current problem. So after 6 months you read, you will have some other problem. When you read the same book, you will be like, oh, I can solve this problem like this. Same book will give you different solutions every time you read it based upon what is running in your mind. Some of you might be like, how is that possible? The bouncer might also be going above the head. Ki, Sach mein, how can that be? It's the same book, same author, same words. Let me tell, in this group itself, right now we are doing this career transformation 105. There are members who are with us since now multiple seasons. Okay, multiple seasons. The point is, still season by season, if we all come, I find the same energy. Why? Because I also find these things new. Okay, same session, maybe same ideas, concepts here and there, but it gives a different variation every time we come. We feel a different energy, a different dedication. Okay, I want to do this, I want to do that, I want to change this. Oh, this year I'm good, year I'm bad. And that's what, same session, maybe a few variations here and there, but season by season, still that freshness is always there. Understand, this is how your mind is, because season by season, what is running in your mind is different. So if you have experienced that already with us, the same concept applies on books also. Your commitment, your ability to grasp something, your ability to implement something in your life will constantly change when you keep reading books. So that's where the next conclusion is, same book, you would have to go multiple number of times. Recently, I came across some quote which was saying, a person was saying, I want to complete 60 books in 1 year. Okay, so a person was saying, I'll complete 60 books in 1 year. So on the other side, the more mature person, what he said is, it would be more good if you complete one book 60 times in 1 year. Just phrasing. Okay, rather than trying to read 60, that means you're not anything implementing in your life, you're just moving on and on and on and on. But if you do one good book thoroughly, all throughout, page by page, line by line, and install all of that in your mind so many number of times, that's where the change will come. Okay, so what approach I follow? Now all these concepts are done. Okay, so you can take these learnings, you can take it, but important thing is, we want to start book reading because that will change our life. How my system of applying it is, Every month I take one new book, and since past around 2.5 to 3 years I have been doing this. Every month I take one new book. Okay, so I'll give you quick cheat codes here. Okay, reading a physical book is a very tough thing. At least for me it was very hard. So a proper book or even a PDF where line by line reading so much, I started and I was not able to finish, and I think that's where many people also struggle. Okay, book reading becomes tough for them. They start, they don't finish it. Now the thing is key, when I discovered key, okay, there is a systematic approach which worked for me, it might work for you as well. What I started doing is I took a Audible subscription. Okay, Amazon ka Audible app hai. It's an audio book basically. Okay, and so my target is I take a new audio book in the first month. Whenever I get a month starting, I take an audio book there. Okay, and first I complete end-to-end book in that audio format. It is simple. If you start and if you're regularly listening, it will finish. Usme problem nahi padega, because some of the books might be 5-hour books, 10-hour books. So that means in 2 weeks you can finish one book with ease, only audio program. Okay, so my approach of doing things is first I take an audio program. By that way, at least I have started completing my books. First I was directly going to hard copy. After 3 pages I was not even able to continue. No matter whatever strategy I applied, it was not working. But I changed it. Okay, by 10 hours I can put 10 hours, because at least I am that committed. Okay, I'll make some time out and I'll do 10 hours of audio books. Okay, so that I started completing books. Now the another thing, okay, now you have to use combination, guys, understand. There is no one ultimate tool for doing this. Audiobook is having its own limitations. So don't try to just interpret based upon whatever people say. You find your right mix. I realized based upon books concepts, you have to use audiobooks also, soft copy also, hard copy also. Okay, maybe video version also. It depends upon who you are, what you find right for consuming. It depends upon your personality. Okay, if you like reading a lot already, yes, then soft copy, hard copy is your thing. If you like listening, maybe that will work for you. So you need to find the right mix. I'm telling my mix is first audiobook, complete the entire book one go. Next, whichever chapters I want. Okay, so now what will happen is the mind, we are doing meditations in the morning, trying to see our thoughts. Even if when you're listening to the audiobook, sometimes your thoughts will go here and there. You're listening, but your focus will be something else. You will be thinking, "Arey, aaj khane mein kya khana hai?" The mind is very tricky thing. You will be thinking a lot of things. Audio chal raha hai, but I know this technique. Even if my conscious brain is thinking about thoughts, my subconscious is still consuming the ideas. So I have that clarity how I work. So even if I am thinking here and there, headphones are still plugged in for one hour, because I know that even if I am not attentively doing it, the data is going in my brain, so it's still useful for me. Okay, now the thing is, but subconscious mein to ja raha hai, but I want to put it into immediate actions. For that I need to do it with focus. So what I do is whichever, once I finish my entire book, with focus, without focus, doesn't matter, but I should listen everything word to word, end to end, with focus, without focus, okay. But second step may I try to then look at those chapters where I want to concentrate. And those chapters, then I don't do anything else. Maybe 30 minutes, I just sit and I listen, maybe make some notes. Oh, acha idea, bookmarking it, something like that. I go through that exercise for selected piece of thing. And let's say in a book, I found those kind of chapters. KRR, this is very valuable. I immediately go to Google, find out a free soft copy of that book, go to that paragraph, and then I even have that soft copy with me. Oh, this section, bar bar sunne se acha, I have an image of me maintained or a soft copy so that I can read that one page, because that is a very gem of a technique. And I want it to be handy, not like listening, but I want to see it. I want to break it down into smaller pieces. So this is how I convert it into soft copy. Okay. So far, I have never taken a hard copy version because of maintenance problem that it gives. It gets damaged physically, either so the traveling and all handy nahi rehta. But yes, if you have like night time is the best time for that. If you find a book which you really know that you should go through it like 100 times in your lifespan, So purchase those books, have it always next to your bed. So rather than having phone while sleeping, read one page, two page daily and then go to sleep. That habit is also going to be pretty good. So it completely depends. Okay. Now this is what it is. Tomorrow, okay, so it's already 9:57. We'll be winding up the session shortly. Abhi attendance lenge, we will then finalize the groups. Whoever really wants to pair up into groups, we will create those groups as well, and right from tomorrow you guys get started. Okay, so chalo pehle wahi karte hain. Okay, so everybody, okay, so everyone, take a few deep breaths, just relax. First of all, the session is done. Okay, take a deep long breath, inhale, relax, get peaceful. Just do it for 30 seconds. You'll find nice peace coming to you. Okay. I do this when I was like on traveling, signal aata tha. People used to be like, "Arey 90 seconds tak chalega." I'm like, "Arey wah, 90 seconds chalega, let me breathe, nice and relax." I used to find it so peaceful. It's just deep breaths at signal. It's a beautiful time to spend actually. It's not irritating. Okay. Okay, fine team. So chalo, just let's okay, open your eyes, let's start focusing. Okay. So first thing, again telling, we need to prepare accountability groups, maybe group of 2, group of 3, we will see based upon how many people we are getting. Okay, so accountability groups where you will be even responsible so that your team members perform. Everybody focus on that. Even I should also do, my team members should also do. Okay, so that's it. This is the expectation. And what is required is you guys, whoever these groups are, you connect on maybe LinkedIn or WhatsApp, wherever. Try to get in touch with one another. If you are not able to find that person, reach out to me. I'll give you the maybe the WhatsApp number or something to you guys. Okay, but otherwise, एक दूसरे से बात कर सकते हैं. Okay, so reach out to one another. Now, what is required? What you should do is whatever activities we are performing as part of this career transformation, whatever activities, because in this week we are even going to multiply, more habits will be coming. Waking up in the morning 6, joining 9 p.m, plus doing this book reading, skill upgradations, and there is going to be workout coming up, there is going to be a lot of other things which will come up. So you have to work with one another. Okay, we perform all these activities on a regular basis. Okay, and right from tomorrow onwards we will be starting to build this system of consistency where we will start tracking these activities on a daily basis. So you will know how many of you are able to do it, how many of you are not able to do it. Okay, what I would recommend is create a common maybe Google Drive between your group itself, where daily you guys track your names so that you can closely see, oh, group of 3 members, we perform like this, we perform like that. So collaborate with one another. You think about how you can make it more. Okay, and what you will realize, if you really involve in this activity, you will be more consistent than not and doing it alone. Okay, so this will work 100%. You have to put some work so that others do it. So now think about it. Whoever is really, and guys, give your name into this if you really want to do it. Otherwise, others will get impacted because of you, because they'll feel demotivated. अरे कितना भी बोल रहे हैं इसको, and the guy is not listening. अरे जाने दो, मैं भी नहीं करता हूँ. So don't demotivate people. Inspire one another. So if you really want to do it, really want to push each other, and you're committed to perform all these activities which we will do, and it will intensify. Okay, so no holding back, no self-doubting. Give your name in chat. Just write down your name. I will then put it up in a separate place. It's just an accountability group so that we perform the habits. So write down your names, and I would really want everyone to do it, because there will be a big difference between those who do and those who don't. Okay, so in the end you will find the difference for yourself. So don't shy. We are all here to help one another. Okay, still I'm giving some more time for people to freeze it. Okay, so far we got some members. Let me start sharing the screen and writing the names down. Okay. Okay, I'm sharing my screen. Everybody do it, guys. Seriously. But again, if you're committed, and I want all you to be committed, so I'm clashing with my words. But stay committed and do it, guys. इतना सब कर रहे guys. You're putting the effort into doing contribution, changing the society, putting your growth in place. So let's do this. Okay, who do we have right now? First, we have Mayur. Okay, next we have Krishnakant. Next we have Shenu. And guys, never think कि मेरे को alone I want to succeed. It's not practically possible. Alone nobody has gone long enough. Okay. So, but when you use the power of group, you guys can learn 3 books at the same time. You can share summaries with one another. You can grow 3 times faster. Alone it becomes tough. So it's completely up to you. How do you want to utilize this grouping? Okay, and I'm writing the names down. Okay, so we have reached till Negar, next Achal, next Amulya. We'll close it in the next few minutes, guys. We'll just prepare this group. I'll give you the attendance meanwhile. Meanwhile, let me already give you the attendance till the time I'm copying this. Okay, just a second. I'll give you the attendance link. You fill that up. I'll copy this and then we will take forward. Okay, copy, pasting it in chat. Code for today is 3333. Okay, this is the form, everyone. You start filling it. I'll take up your names. And a group formation will be done by me. Okay, so I'll put the groups together, like who I feel is right, and so that I want to balance between those who have been with us since long time versus new guys, so everybody gets the motivation to do things. Okay. Okay, I'm sharing the screen again. You guys mark your attendance. Okay, Amulya Kumar we have covered. Next we have Shravan. Harshali, you are not joining for morning sessions, Harshali. You promised that you will come this week, and in the morning you were not there. Will you come tomorrow? Otherwise, this your guys will, your team will be impacted.
Yes, I will.
Yeah. So push yourself, Harshali. I don't know what exactly happening, but thoda sa, once you committed, so yeah, please jump in. Okay. Don't miss it, because now others are also linked to you.
Yes,
Okay.
sir.
Okay, sure. Next, Dibesh. Okay. Okay. So guys, we got these names. I'm not sure if there is anyone pending, but let's check the count. It's almost up. Okay. Okay. We got 12 members. If there is anybody pending, just think about it. If you are really into this, make it up. Okay. I don't want to really push for those who don't want to step up, but I'm not sure. Let's see. Okay. But at least right now we have these names. If anybody still want to give it. Okay. What we will do is we will create a group of 3 members. Okay, we'll create a group of 3 members because yeah, I think better interactions and better possibilities and use cases will come if there are 3 people involved. Okay, you guys can have calls with one another. Chances अच्छे होते हैं, ठीक है? And now let me start balancing. How many groups can we form? We just have 12. 4 3s are 12. So we just need like 4 groups can be created. Okay. अच्छा, लक्ष्मी ने अभी नाम रखा है क्या? Yeah, Lakshmi, you're also putting your name, Lakshmi?
Yes, sir.
अरे तो chat में डालो. Fine, I'll consider your name, Lakshmi. If there is anybody else still pending, so dekh lo. Okay, so we have 13 people. Maybe one group might have 2 or 4. We'll do think about something. Okay. Okay. So first, let me start positioning. Okay. Akhila. Nigar. Akhila, Nigar, Divesh, Shinu. Okay. Next. Where is Shruti? Shruti. Shruti. Nigar is done. Shinu, Akhila done. Divesh is done. Okay. Next. Mayur. We will pair up with Akhila. Next. Krishna. We will pair up with Nigar. Next. Afsar. We will pair up with Shinu. Next. Achal. We will pair up with Akhila. Next. Amulya. We will pair up with Divesh. Next. Shravan, Arshali, Lakshmi. Let's see, where do we feel it's right? Okay. Nigar, we will pair up with Lakshmi. Shravan and Arshali. Okay. Shravan, we will pair up in this group. And Harshali, we will pair up in this group. Okay. Akhila, Mayur, Achal, Shravan. Okay. Nigar, Krishna, Lakshmi. Divesh, Shruti, Amulya. Shenu, Afsar, Harshali. यहाँ पे since there are 4 people, I would like to do one adjustment. Okay, let's do this like this. Shruti, I will pair because Akhila, Shruti, they are like since ages, and we will move Shravan to come here. Okay, so these two guys can really work well with Mayur and Achal. Nigar, Lakshmi were connected last season, so they can gel nicely with Krishna and take forward. Divesh, Amulya are already good. They have been pretty consistent. They can work nicely with Shravan. And Shenu is since long. Afsar is so this is second season. Harshal is jumping, and I think yes, these guys can also manage with themselves. Okay. So fine team. I think the teams are pretty balanced now. You guys can definitely, I think, as a unit, take care of one another. So I'm pasting the names here. Okay. So I'm pasting the names here, and I will also be pasting it in our WhatsApp group. Okay. So just the thing is, you try to reach out to one another and try to make sure right from tomorrow morning 6 a.m. session, your team is coming up. So if required, create a WhatsApp group with you guys, or LinkedIn ke andar you can create your chat groups also, wherever you feel comfortable. So do that, and always be empowerment to one another. We can support each other and make sure that we are all performing all the activities of week 3. Tomorrow we will get more structured. We will launch an Excel sheet. So collaborate well. Maybe put up a common Excel sheet for tracking your activity. and there everybody like work with one another to make it happen. Okay, and share those Excel sheet links to me as well so that I can keep reviewing. कुछ तो करते हैं guys. Okay, things will work out. Fine, everyone. Have a nice day, and then see you guys tomorrow morning 6 a.m. Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Take